Good evening, everyone. This is Bob Perry along with John Nelson, all set to bring you our game of the week. And we have district playoff baseball. The Texans of Sam Houston up against the Cardinals of MacArthur. We're in the top of the first inning of this game, one out. This is Scotty Gage, who swings and goes down on strikes. So the starting pitcher for the Texans, Hobby Strawn, has fanned the first two batters he's faced, Vince Kimbrough and now Scotty Gage. This brings up the center fielder, Chris Parshall. Strawn, a right-handed pitcher with a good breaking ball, and he's had these first two hitters really baffled. There's a breaking pitch down low for a ball. This is the second of a best-of-3 series. The first game played a few nights ago. The Cardinals coming from behind to defeat the Texans 4-1. The second game taking place here at Irving School Stadium, as did the first game, and the reason for that was because of the heavy rains that we've had. It was impossible to play this game over in Arlington. So game number 2 taking place right here at Irving School Baseball Field, and should there be a third game, it would also immediately follow this one. So we do have a possibility of a doubleheader. John Nelson has seen this Texan team on several occasions. John, tell us a little bit about him.
Well, in particular, Bob, Hobie Strawn this afternoon, his season record 7-3. The Texans average 9 runs a game in District 7-5A. They have won 2 of their last 4 and 8 of their last 10. They are coached by Tommy Cantrell, and Texans have been in the playoffs 10 times in the last 18 years and have a lot of playoff experience going for them.
3-1 pitch, a breaking ball, and again strike 2. So Strawn really has control of that curveball.
Texans finished in second place to Martin in District 7-5A. Overall, 17-8, 14-4 in the district.
3-2 pitch down low, ball 4. Parshall almost went for it, and then at the last second held up. So he becomes the game's first runner. Chris is down at first base, and this will bring up the cleanup hitter, Keith Williams, who is also the catcher. And Keith, without a doubt, is a fine talent. He's good defensively as a catcher, and he can really sting the ball.
Went 2 for 3 in the first game.
Big game for both clubs, obviously. If the Texans don't win this game, that's all. Their season comes to an end, and MacArthur advances in the playoff. If, however, the Texans do win this game, first pitch and Parshall's going on the hit and run. Pitch is going to be fouled out of play. So Carl Childers, head coach for the Cardinals, decides to go hit and run on the very first opportunity that his team has. As we said, should the Texans lose this game, well, that's it. Their season comes to an end. If, however, they win it, then we will go into the third and deciding game, which actually would be the second game played here tonight at Irving School Field.
Not much wind, Bob. What wind there is blowing in from center field. And it has cooled off a little bit from what we have been accustomed to the last 2 afternoons. And we're dry.
Exactly. The breaking pitch down low for a ball. Count evens up at 1-1. Very heavy rains fell over the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area last night and again today. But fortunately, only a light shower here at Irving. So the field really is in very nice condition. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Strawn certainly has taken command in this initial inning, having struck out 2 batters and walked 1.
Good breaking pitch. Will throw the slider. And in particular, try to keep the right-handers off balance. Can work the corners of the plate very well, as Sam Houston really came on strong in the last month of the district season.
Pitch down low into the dirt, and breaking with the pitch and stealing second base uncontested is Chris Parshall. Chris, the center fielder, who's got good speed, was off with the pitch, and as you saw, it was down low in the dirt. The catcher, Roger Rumsey, had no opportunity at all to try and make a throw on that play. So Parshall down on second base, and we really have the deuces up on the scoreboard. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Now we go to a full count with the breaking pitch down low. Boy, Strawn just throws one breaking pitch after another, doesn't he?
He really does. The outfield straight away. And he's gotten good defensive help behind him when Hobie has drawn the starting assignment.
Here's a 3-hopper bobbled by the shortstop. Throw's going to be in time. Oh, that was close. Good arm by the shortstop, who bobbled the ball momentarily Then came up firing Ivan Villalobos, almost bobbling that ball away, but his very fine throwing arm enabled him to cut down Keith Williams by half a running stride. So for the Cardinals in the top half of the first inning, there's no runs, no hits. There were no miscues. One man left on base, and we're scoreless as we move to the bottom of the first. Let's give you the starting lineup. Before we give you the starting lineup here for the Texans, we'll show you this play once again, where Villalobos bobbled it momentarily. You'll see this as he comes over. Fortunately for him, the ball came right back in front of him, so he just picked it up and really showed us a gun for an arm and cut the man down. This is the starting lineup for the Texans, and I know these are all new names to you. Ivan Villalobos is the shortstop, Wes Shank in left field. John Zimmerman's the catcher. The cleanup batter is also the center fielder, Roger Rumsey. Phil Varicchio is at first base, Greg Edwards in right. The designated hitter is Tom Gentz. Kurt Black at second base, and the third baseman is David Jones. So you can see here that the pitcher, Hobby Strawn, does not bat. He can just concentrating on throwing those breaking pitches, and in the first inning he did that quite well.
Sam Houston with a team batting average of .312. Bob, as alluded to a couple of minutes ago, they averaged 9 runs a game in district. In fact, they were in double figures 9 times in district games this year. Ivan Villalobos, who leads it off, hitting .365. So from top to bottom, the Texans have a lot of kids batting in the high 280s and a lot of them in the 300s.
That's something that you normally do not see when you're looking at high school baseball. However, I think it obviously is one of the reasons why this team did make it into the playoffs, the fact that they can really swing.
Tommy Cantrell will make out the lineup and stick with the 9 players for the most part, and just flip-flop the pitchers and the DH from time to time. And from the beginning of the season till the last game, he's got a set lineup and has certainly tasted the playoff experience before in the Arlington area. In fact, Sam Houston beat Duncanville last year, advanced to round 2, where they lost to the Rebels of Richland out of District 5A.
There he is, the shortstop, Ivan Villalobos. Right-handed batter, going to choke up a little bit on that club. On the mound for the MacArthur Cardinals, Scotty Gage comes into this game with a season record of 8-2. Breaking pitch stays up high for a ball. Gage is a breaking ball pitcher and a fastball pitcher. His breaking pitch certainly is more than adequate. His fastball is a little bit over average, but normally has pretty good control. Fastball up high, ball 2-0.
Sam Houston only managing 5 hits in game 1 as the Cardinals won it 4-1. And the top of the order not very productive for the Sam Houston Texans, other than Zimmerman and Rumsey.
Breaking pitch in for a strike, and 2-1 the count. An overcast day, as John Nelson told you, and that's a break for us. Keeps us away from Mr. Sun. Of course, we don't want to see too many clouds because we really have had some heavy rain. Fastball down low, ball 3. 3-1 now. Fine day for a ball game, really. Both these clubs knowing that when activity is over tonight, one of them advances in the playoffs. The question obviously right now is which one. Breaking pitch finds the mark, strike 2. Shows you a little bit of confidence that Scotty Gage has in that breaking pitch. Behind the batter, 3-1, and obviously not wanting to start off by walking a man, but he came in there with the curveball and got it in for a strike. So it's 3-2 on Ivan Villalobos. Breaking pitch inside, ball 4, and Ivan becomes his team's first base runner. So Villalobos does what all leadoff men are supposed to do. He gets on base.
And he's got good speed, Bob. Shank also with good speed. Zimmerman, the catcher, adequate speed, but table set early for Sam Houston.
Shank, the left fielder, and a right-handed batter. He took a long look down at his head coach, Tommy Cantrell. Takes the ball. Quite a bit of activity that time by the infield for MacArthur. Jason Sturdy, the third baseman, was charging in, thinking that there'd be a bunt. The shortstop was moving over to cover second base. Second baseman was moving in the hole between first and second. There goes the runner. The bunt to third. Sturdy's only play is to first. He makes it. Here is Villalobos going to third, and they're going to cut him down on the double play. So Shank bunts into a double play. Sturdy to the first baseman, Clint Davis, and when Villalobos did not stop running, Davis just tossed it back to Sturdy at third base, and they got the out. We'll show it to you again. Now, we say he threw to Sturdy. Actually, this is the shortstop covering who makes the tag for the out. So a double play and 2 down.
Yeah, 5-3-6, and around the horn double play, and Villalobos with a big turn as head coach Tommy Cantrell had him running.
John Zimmerman, the catcher, up there. Strike 2. Baseball, like most athletic endeavors, requires a lot of mental concentration. Many times the team that makes the fewest mental mistakes is going to win the ball game. And that time the shortstop really showed that he was in the game. John Mihalik going over to take that throw at third base. So he covered the correct base because Sturdy was drawn in fielding the bunt. The 1-2 pitch to Zimmerman. Breaking pitch got him swinging. So we're scoreless after 1 inning of play. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Texans of Sam Houston. And there you see the line score after 1. We're scoreless. For the Cardinals, as things start in the top of the second, we will have Clint Davis at first base, followed by the shortstop John Mihalik, and then the right fielder Eddie Palmer. Should any of them do anything offensively, it'll bring up the left fielder Kevin Gill.
Yeah, the runner-up team, Bob, in District 8-5A has advanced to yet another round as the Duncanville Panthers beat Arlington Martin 2 straight, scores of 3-2 and 5-2. And the Martin Warriors saw the 2 best pitchers that Duncanville had to offer, and Panthers a perennial baseball power in this area, yet advancing another step. And I've kind of been anxious to see this Irving MacArthur squad. The winners at 12-2 in the district season, and apparently have done what it takes to get there. You know, with only 2 losses in district, they apparently have hit the ball in the right place and had some good base running.
Yeah, they're fundamentally, they're a very sound team. They're not a spectacular team. Pitching, I think, is their strength. They don't make many mental mistakes. They're fairly good hitting. And you were mentioning Duncanville. They played them 2 district games and beat them both times.
And this is the kid that pitched game 1, I take it.
That's right,
yeah.
Clint Davis. Clint is, without a doubt, the stellar pitcher for the Cardinals. And as you can see, he's not bad with the stick either, batting 5th and playing first base. First pitch from Strawn, up high for a ball.
Texans really haven't been victimized that much by the long ball, at least by teams in District 7-5A.
1-1 the count now on Clint Davis. I think everyone with MacArthur hopes that Davis does not have to go to the mound, because if he does, that'll be game number 2. Grounds a single up the middle into center field. Just reached out and tapped that ball and really didn't follow through on a swing at all. Once he made connection with the baseball, it was almost as if he froze the bat. He didn't have a tremendous follow-through. But he did what you want to do, and that's put the ball in play, and he gets himself a base hit. So it's the initial base hit of tonight's game. Davis leading off with a single to center, and here comes the shortstop, John Mihalik.
And the third baseman, David Jones, already drawn in. Oh, he got the low strike there.
Ooh, yeah, yes, he did, yeah.
Not bunting on that one.
No, pitch in for a strike. The Texans feeling that the Cardinals might try and bunt here. They've got their third baseman, David Jones, up on the edge of the infield grass. Check of the runner and the pitch in again, strike 2. 2 pitches, 2 strikes to John Mihalik, and both times John not showing bunt at all, just watching those breaking pitches come in for strikes.
Now the infield sagging back into double play depth with an 0-2 count.
Davis, a modest lead from first, and the throw over there, and he's back with a hand slide very easily. The 0-2 pitch swung on in a high fly ball to right field. The right fielder has the room, and he's got the baseball. So swinging a little bit late on the ball, Mihalik hits a high fly ball that Greg Edwards puts away in right field. Talking about right field, here comes the Cardinals right fielder, Eddie Palmer.
Number 7, right fielder, Eddie Palmer.
Davis, the base runner, at first. Palmer takes out, well, up just a little bit high for a ball.
Hobie Strawn's last decision came in the district ending game against Haltom, as Sam Houston won that game 8-7.
There goes Davis, and the pitch foul back to the screen. 8-7, pretty close game, wasn't it?
Wes Shank with a couple of home runs to help Hobie Strawn.
A ball, a strike, and an out, and a man down on first base in the person of Clint Davis. Top of the second inning. No score thus far between these two teams. Check of the runner. Now the pitch swung on in a high drive deep to center field. The center fielder backing up has got room, and he makes the grab.
Two hard hit balls.
Yeah, really. Palmer gave it a ride, but the center fielder had him played well. Roger Rumsey just drifted back and then made the grab for the second out.
Number 8, left fielder, Kevin Gill.
Kevin Gill, the left fielder, comes up for the first time in this evening's game. Pitch in for a strike. Gill, for some reason, almost looked as if he was stepping out of the box, then came back in as the pitcher was in motion to deliver that throw. Strike one.
Well, Sam Houston not taking anything for granted as Jones again drawn in on the grass as the MacArthur head coach Carl Childers flashing the signs to Kevin Gill. See what goes.
There's one bounced down to the shortstop, goes to the toss to Black over at second, and the Texans are out of the inning as Gill bounces into a fielder's choice, short to second. The Cardinals scoreless in the top of the second. No runs, a hit, no miscues. After 1 1/2 innings of play, we are scoreless as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Very colorful uniforms, by the way, for the Texans. Boy, I like that. Predominantly red and blue. Very nice looking indeed. I can remember seeing this team a couple of years ago in football competition, and I thought at the time, boy, those are nice looking football uniforms simply because of the color combination. They look good in baseball, too.
Well, it has been a while since the Texans have played a baseball game here, Bob. They have not been here since 1974. They beat R.L. Turner, and a fellow by the name of Reuben Tomlin pitched a no-hitter for Sam Houston. So 13-plus years since Sam has made the trip here to the Irving Public Schools baseball field.
We have something a little bit out of the ordinary in that MacArthur is the visiting team in this first game. And that's because all the games in this playoff series will be held here at Irving School Stadium. However, it is not the first time that MacArthur has been the visiting team at this field, obviously, because they have played other Irving teams here, both Nimitz and Irving High School. And in those games, on 2 occasions, they were the visiting team, and then on the other times they played them, they were the home team. Roger Rumsey, left-handed hitting center fielder up there. Roger, a lefty all the way, throws left-handed and bats from the same side.
And Roger went 2 for 3 in game 1, had a triple, and is batting .448.
Solidly built left-handed hitter. Breaking pitch in for a strike. Well, there's something about left-handed hitters. They always look, generally speaking, pretty graceful. Pitch inside for a ball, and it's 1-1.
Does that hold true?
And a strike.
Does that hold true when they strike out?
Oh, no. But I guess you have so many right-handed hitters in high school baseball, you really don't have that many lefties. There's a breaking pitch, bounced down to the first baseman. Davis fields it in foul territory, and 1-2 is the count.
That was fair for about 80 feet. Then took the turn right in front of first base. Yeah, and the same goes for pitchers, too. You know, you face a right-hander through 7 innings, 6 innings, whatever, then you bring in that left-hander, and just seeing the opposite arm will throw off a hitter, and especially high school baseball, you know. Just the way it goes sometimes in high school.
1-2 the count to Rumsey, the center fielder. Reaches across in a high hopper over the second baseman's head. Base hit for Rumsey. Whoa, what a bounce that ball took.
Oh, Hedges had him played perfect, waiting for it to come down. Well, it did in shallow right center field as they get a gift hop.
What a break there for the Texans. A bad hop single. Boy, that thing looked like it had some jackrabbit in it as it went over Hedges' head. Verricchio, the first baseman up there. Phil Verricchio at first. Rumsey, who has good speed, leads away from first base and draws the throw. And they're going to call the balk against the pitcher. Scotty Gage going to be called for a balk, and the base umpire out there showing him exactly what he did.
Work on the extreme edge of the rubber. That whole foot has to come in contact with the rubber, and he had about half of that right foot leaning over the side of the rubber right there.
Here's Carl Childers, coach for MacArthur, coming out and saying, what did he do now? And the umpire said, this is what he did.
It was a ball, quit crying! Oh my God!
Second base runner for Sam Houston. And right now, Roger Rumsey didn't think he'd be at second base with a no count on Phil Verricchio, but he has been balked over.
Carl Childers talking to the home plate umpire right now. He called him in.
See what you see there.
You'll see what happens right here. See, the throw goes back, and Rumsey's not even aware that the balk had been called.
He jumped off the rubber when he wheeled him through to first. Oh, we could see it here, and there is no argument at all about that. He just stepped aside. In fact, he wasn't even planted right there, Bob. He was right on the side, right there, where the coach's right foot is. Stepped off of it and wheeled him through to first.
Well, Carl Childers has now talked to all 3 umpires, and I think they're all going to say the same thing. Coach, the runner's going to go to second base.
Haven't seen a lot of balks this year in high school. I believe 1 or 2. And now you got to wonder how this affects Scotty Gage. A popular call for the Sam Houston fans.
Oh, yes, yeah.
They need base runners here at Irving MacArthur, but Bob, on the replay, no argument at all.
Now Carl Childers walking back to the dugout. The interesting thing there is that normally when a manager is having a discussion with an umpire, of course, play stops, but the pitcher continues to kind of loosen up. Gage was not afforded that opportunity because the manager, Childers, was standing on the rubber. So Scotty Gage just been standing there watching what's happening. Now we come back, pitch down low for a ball.
Well, here's an early break. Texans scored first in game 1 right here in the second inning. Of course, Sam the home team, but they got a run in the first game of the second inning.
Fastball down low again. Verricchio showing bunt, but has not been able to make a bunt attempt simply because those pitches have been really low, right down into the dirt. 2-0 the count. There's the breaking pitch, floats in for a strike, 2-1. Again, Gage showing that he has confidence in that curveball, as does his catcher, Keith Williams, who calls for the breaking pitch. The 2-1 pitch, breaker again, strike 2. The throw down to second base goes through into center field, but Rumsey is not going to be able to advance. Backing it up quickly was Partial, the center fielder.
Well, he bunted right through that one. And Williams able to get something on it. But Partial breaking in from center.
Time called as the breaking pitch comes in, but the umpires call time once the batter stepped out of the box.
Well, the wind beginning to kick up, Bob. It's blowing in a little bit more than it was at game time and kicked up a little bit of dust in Phil's left eye.
The 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch hit through in a left field, base hit. Rumsey, I think, will hold at third. Here comes the throw all the way through to the plate, and a break for the Cardinals in that the batter did not go down to second base as that throw came all the way through.
Slowly hit, and Gill charging in from left field, rifled it into Williams, and
Batting next, right fielder.
runners at the corners for Sam. Nobody out.
So you've got runners at first and third, no one out, and the right fielder, Greg Edwards, comes to the plate. He's got an opportunity right now to put his team up on that scoreboard. Gage, a check of the runner at third, then turns and throws to first, and Verricchio is back easily. So the Texans trying to apply some pressure here to the Cardinals. Again, Gage throws to first, then again Verricchio is back. Davis holding the runner on at first base, and Jason Sturdy, the third baseman, standing right on that third sack, too. Now the pitch is, the runner breaks, and the pitch is fouled off, strike one. So they were playing hit and run.
Of course, Phil trying to stay out of the double play. The base runner at first, Scotty Gage knows he's going. Williams knows he's going down to second.
Rumsey, who has got speed, leads down off third base. 0-1 the count to Edwards, the throw to first. That is 3 attempts at trying to catch Verricchio off at first base. And really, he's not taking that much of a lead. Now, the pitch to the plate. Verricchio goes again. Here goes the throw. The Cardinals cut it off. And Rumsey was not going from third, so they concede the stolen base. Verricchio gets it. That was a set play where Williams, the catcher, threw down to the second baseman, Darren Hedges, who cut in front of the bag, hoping that Rumsey would try the double steal and go for the plate, but Rumsey was glued to the bag at third. Second and third for the Texans as the pitch is swung and fouled back in 1-2 now the count on Edwards.
A lot of room and foul ground here. Probably 30 feet from the backstop to home plate. 30, 35 feet from the foul lines to the dugout.
Gage trying to punch out the strikeout right now. The 1-2 pitch, and he got him. Struck him out swinging. So he needed the strikeout, and he got it. That's his second K of the game. And Tom Gentz, the DH, will come up.
Number 24.
Gentz also with a triple in the first game. He and Rumsey. Tommy 1 for 1 in that first game.
Curveball, swung and a miss. They're swinging over that breaking pitch. And boy, that's so easy to do at this level of competition. As it comes up and you're starting your swing, just as you're starting to swing is when it starts dropping. Like that one there, it's strike 2. Foul tip back into the catcher's mitt. And Gage has the advantage over Gentz in that he has the 0-2 count.
Infield drawn in just a bit. Scotty Gage, I'm sure, will try to keep the ball down and prevent that fly ball to the outfield.
Struck him out on the breaking pitch. 3 straight breaking pitches, and Gentz goes down.
And strikeout number 3 for Scotty Gage, as walked 1.
Next second baseman, number 7, Kirk Black.
This is the second baseman, Kirk Black. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes when a pitcher balks, it unnerves them, but that does not appear to be the case with Scotty Gage. Second and third. That's how the runners are positioned, and the pitch to Black in for a strike. Boy, I'll tell you, Gage is throwing nothing but breaking pitches into the strike zone right now. He's really in a groove.
And the number 8 hitter for Sam hit .308 in the regular season.
Fastball on the outside corner, strike 2. That was a good call. I'm sure Black was thinking, this guy's throwing so many breaking pitches for strikes, I'm going to see another one. And instead, in came some smoke. 0-2 the count now on Black. And Gage comes in with the breaking pitch that's popped up and out of play. So the Texans certainly have had their opportunity here. Runners